Hello, Stampers. It is Elizabeth from stampscrapandmore.com. And as you know, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And thank you to those that are able to join in the live card. We're going to the live presentation today. This will be posted a little later on in the week onto YouTube because this is a swap card that I did, and the swap just finished last week, and I wanted to do a video on this card because it's super cute, and it is using a new stamp set that is in this annual catalog. Or sorry, the not annual catalog, it's in the yay Emily, Bev's gonna be sitting in and watching. She's gonna take a break from cutting and sewing masks. Oh, nice. Anyhow, so the card we're going to be making is using a stamp set that is in this catalog. Not only a stamp set, two of my favorite products that are in this catalog. So we're going to be using the Snow Wonder stamp set with the Snow Time dies and my favorite evergreen 3D embossing folder. Let me just take this flag off. So that's the embossing folder that we're going to be using. I love it. So I'm hoping that if you are a customer of mine, that you have received your copy of the mini catalog. So thumbs up, I hope that you did. If you didn't and you are in Canada and don't have a demonstrator and would like a copy of it, please let me know and I will send one to you. So this is the stamp set that we're going to be using, and we're going to be using the Snowman. We're going to be using the Happy Christmas, and we're not going to be using this stamp set. We are going to be using the dies though. And we are going to use the Snowman die. We are going to use the tree die, but not the stamp set. And we're going to be using the banner die for the sentiment. And I'm not showing you the card. Did you notice that? I haven't shown you the card because we're going to make it and you're going to be surprised at the end. And then we are going to be using the large stitched oval framelit. Okay? But I am going to give you measurements, so get your pen and paper handy, and I've got my little cheat sheet here. I'm going to try and keep my desk tidy today. I'm going to give you some measurements, and I just have to move something over so I can, there we go. I'm going to give you measurements, and I'm also going to give you a tip on using the new Stampin' Seal and the new Stampin' Seal Plus. There is a technique to using this, and once you learn the technique, you will eliminate a little bit of frustration. Okay, so the colors we're going to be using are Early Espresso, and you need a 5.5 by 8.5, and it has to be scored at 4 1/4 and 6.4. Okay, you need a piece of another, excuse me, that's a little tickle, another piece of Early Espresso, and this is 5.5 by 2.1, and you will see that I have run it through that 3D embossing folder. Isn't that beautiful? I love this, love that embossing folder. You need a piece of Whisper White that is 5.2 by 4 by 5 1/4, sorry. Excuse me, 4 by 5 1/4. Hi, Susan. I have my coffee here, so I'm going to have a little sip of coffee. But I have to put it somewhere where it's not going to fall onto my workspace. Hey, Deb. And we need a piece of Designer Series paper that is, where is my Designer Series paper? Where is it? It's 5 1/4 by 2.1. And this is the Designer Series paper from, I didn't make a note of it. It's from the 6x6 'Tis the Season Designer Series paper. And you can use any of the patterns that are in that. I just chose this one. The swap card that I made, I used the red plaid. I'm going to show you at the end, but I used up all the red plaid. You're going to need in the real red, the largest layering stitched layering oval. And you know me, I've already die cut out one of the snowmen. I have already die cut out the flags, or the banners I should say, that's in that same punch, the die set that coordinates with the stamp set. And I've already die cut out the tree, and I ran it through the 3D embossing folder. So I've got a little bit of detail on there. So let's get started. And you're going to need early espresso ink. You're going to need the Whisper White craft ink. You're going to need a dauber or any type of sponge. I'm going to use the finger dauber. And I'm going to use Poppy Parade and Poppy Parade. I'm going to use the light version, and as well as the shaded light spruce, I'm going to use the light one. Okay, we're going to start off with the piece that I have already embossed. And what we're going to do is highlight the trees. Okay, so I'm going to take my finger dauber and dot, just take a little bit off. And then I'm going to lightly rub over the trees. You can see where I'm going with this, right? You can see the relief coming off on the trees. I'm going to take a little bit more. I know I've not shown you the card yet. And I'm going to show you another trick. If you get some of the white craft ink, I'm going to show you what I mean. See some of the white craft. Hey Kim, thanks for joining in. So you'll see here I've got like some of the white craft ink. So what I'm going to take is my Stampin' the eraser. Stampin' Up doesn't sell this anymore, but I have purchased it at the Dollarama. I don't know if they still have it. I actually stocked up on it a while back, like a couple years ago when I saw them. And because they were $1.25, I think. No, Dollar Tree. Sorry, it wasn't Dollar Tree. So I've just erased some of the excess of the craft ink so that I didn't get that sort of blob halo look. And I want to just do a little bit more. And you can do as much or as little as you want, but it just looks like a forest of trees. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this piece that I've cut out and ran through the embossing folder. Instead of stamping it and then die cutting it, I cut it out and ran it through the embossing folder. And this is early espresso. I know trees aren't brown, but I have to tell you that I made this card originally in like green color. I didn't like it as much. I liked it in the earthiness of the early espresso. I think this stamp set really lends to the sort of earthiness of this image stamp set. So that is the trees that I ran through the 3D embossing folder, and then there is the trees that I cut out and ran through the embossing folder. This is such a simple card, a quick card, but you know me, I like simple, but there's a lot of detail. So I've die cut this out, and you know I like my Stamparatus. And let me see what I've got on the back end of this. Oh, here's a clean one. Here's a clean one. So I'm going to put my template down here. This is what I die cut out. And I always like to use, because I'm going to be popping him up, it's done in the thick Whisper White. I just like it because it has a little bit more stability to it, a little more, it's thicker. And so I'm taking the stamp and I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to put it into the negative space like that and pick it up. Oh, look at the dirt on my Stamparatus. It's filthy. And I'm going to, before I put this in here, I want to make sure I have it aligned correctly. So I'm just going to ink this up in Early Espresso. I did not want it in black, in the black memento. So stick around because I'm going to show you another trick because we are going to color it with Stampin' blends. But, you know, if it might bleed, right, because it's not done with the black memento. Okay, so I like this can be moved over just a titch, like that. Okay, so now I've moved it over so it's in the negative space, so you see how it's lined up. Now I'm going to put this in here. I just got a little bit of ink on there. Okay, and I'm just going to put this under here while I ink it up. And I'm going to ink this up. Oh, and I forgot one other color. We need real red ink. I didn't get it out. And, oops, here is the snowman. So perfectly aligned. I love this technique, and you know me, I use it often. So while we're here, where's my real red? While we're here, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to clean it first before I take it off because I'll end up with Early Espresso all over everything. Okay, I'm going to take this off. And now I'm going to get out the Happy Christmas stamp. And this is it. And you'll see I've got down here the negative space. Happy Christmas. And there's the, and it would go in there, but we're going to actually put the stamp here first. I'm going to place the stamp here, and this is kind of where I'd want it, right? I'm going to place it in there and pick it up. And now I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to ink it up in the red, do a test. There we go. And I'm happy with that placement. The Happy Christmas is not perfectly level. Like you see how it kind of goes and then it goes up a little bit. So it's up to you. But if I wanted to, I could move this just a little bit like that so that it was a little bit more even. So it wasn't going up as much. And now I'm going to put this in there. I hope that made sense to you guys. And I ink this up in the real red. And there we go. Happy Christmas. And there we go. So there's the Happy Christmas. And I'm just going to put that aside because you know it's red. So it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. Okay, put that all away. And I'm going to bring back my snowman here. Now, we've done him in Early Espresso. He's not done in Black Memento, but we are going to color just his scarf. And we're going to color this in Poppy Parade. I wanted something that was a little bit redder, or brighter, I should say. And we're going to use the light, what was it? The light shaded spruce to color the top of the leaves in his hat. And then we're going to use 3 red rhinestones to put in for the berries on his hat. Now, if we were to take this and just start coloring, I think it's going to bleed a little bit. So I'm actually going to like daub it. So within the scarf, there are like knitted pattern, right? That's what I meant to say. So I'm actually just going to go into kind of all of those spots, and I'm not coloring, I'm daubing. So I need to put it down here. So I'm actually daubing into those each of the stitches. That's what I want it to stay. And it kind of makes it look like, so it's not totally, you're not coloring it in totally perfect. You're daubing it within those stitches, and it kind of makes it look like it's stitched. Yeah, and this was a swap card I did, so it was kind of time consuming. But I think if I were to just color, I think color might tend to bleed unless you cured it. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. Can you see what I mean by that? Okay, and now I'm going to take the light shaded spruce, and I'm just going to kind of do the same thing with the holly in his hat, on his hat. And like I said, I wanted brighter colors, so there's the holly on his hat. Okay, and you'll see that there's 3 holly berries, right? So I'm going to take the red rhinestones and scissors. And we're also going to color in, at the end, we're going to color in with Wink of Stella, his hat, his scarf, okay? Whoops. Oh. There we go. So there he is. Really simple coloring. Okay. Oh, now I'm going to show you the trick on using the Stampin' seal. So I'm going to oh no, I'm going to actually do this first. I'm going to adhere this to the bottom like that. Oh, I must have put it somewhere where it was wet because it kind of warped, so I'm going to do it at the bottom. Something must have been wet. I'm going to cut another piece out. Just give me 1 second. Something must have been on my desk that was wet because it's a little bit warped. So it's 5, 2, 4. There we go. There we go. I've got one that's not warped. Can you see how it warped a little bit? There you go. You can see how it's warped. So something must have been wet on my desk. I did clean up this morning. I got up and cleaned my craft room. Okay, so I'm going to show you a trick. So it's light, a light touch, and you almost have to end it going up like this. Oops, you got to start. Oh, I'm at the end. I'm at the end. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you're going to go and then raise it up and then end it, and then raise it up and end it. So you're going to go along, raise it up and end it, go along, raise it up and end it. If you just go straight along, you're not going to break it, and you're going to have to manually move it forward. So you have to go and then end it by twisting your wrist up. So along and then up. That's my technical term on how to do it. Okay, and then we're just layering that on. Oh, I forgot one other thing. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. And then this is the braided red, real red trim. And we are going to put it along the top like that. And then flip it over. And again, raise it and bring it up. I cut a little bit too much, but I'll cut it off. There we go. I'm going to show you another trick. Another tip. Okay, so you'll see how this is not flush down. So you can use glue dots, but I have all kinds of these sheets of glue dots left over from paper pumpkin stuff. Let me get a smaller one. And so I'm going to take it off, and I should have done this before I adhered it, but I'm going to put one under there. I'm going to put 3 down. One there, and one there. And I'm going to adhere the ribbon down, the ribbon down, or twine, whatever it's called. And I'm just going to take them off. And I'm going to roll it under with my finger so that it is hidden. And that way the ribbon's not going anywhere. I'm going to take the last one down. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So see what I mean? I've just tucked the glue dots underneath the ribbon, and that way the ribbon's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so some of you have probably figured out this card. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go along and up, along and up, and then along and up. If you don't do that up motion, you're going to have to advance it manually. Just to give you a word of warning. Okay, and now we're going to adhere this to here. You know, it's an easel card, right? You've figured it out. Oops. Yeah, and this was a swap card that swap is closed, but we don't have all the cards in yet, so I won't post this video until the end of next week's when all the cards are in. And now I'm going to take this piece that I have cut and embossed and highlighted with the white, and I'm going to adhere this to the top here. And I'm going to use the Tombow glue because of all these crevices with the embossing on the back side. You really do need a liquid glue so that you're not going to get any buckling. And this one is almost empty. I can feel it's not very heavy. So I'm going to make sure, top is not as big a deal, but the bottom, I want to make sure I get some adhesive in there, some liquid glue, and on the corners. And now I'm going to mount this on the top there like that. And like that. And really press in the bottom so that you get all the fibers, both sides matching and adhering to each other. Okay. So you can see that it's going to sit like that. Like that. And now we're going to build the snowman. And we're going to pop the snowman up. And I got my dimensionals. So I'm not putting any dimensionals on his arms, but I am going to make sure that I've got dimensionals, whoops, on the bottom, one in the middle and one at the top. 2 at the bottom, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the top. And make sure that he is straight. Okay, and now I'm going to mount this, and I'm popping him up on here, but I've dry fit him on here. I'm flipping him over, and I'm just going to put a pencil mark right there at the back because I know that my dimensionals need to be below that line. And again, I'm putting in multiples. And I'm putting one in the center. Like that. And I'm putting him so that he's right at the bottom. And there's kind of a valley here where there are like no trees there, so I'm going to put him like that. Okay. Alrighty, now let me get out my Wink of Stella. I need my Wink of Stella, and like I said, this was a swap card I did, and I think I used up a lot of my Wink of Stella, so I'm in need of Wink of Stella. So I'm going to actually highlight some of these trees in the Wink of Stella just to give it some glimmer. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, that I was disappointed when Stampin' Up! Didn't return, especially Dazzling Diamonds, but I think I had figured it out why they didn't. So there were, I think last year, some demonstrators were commenting that the Dazzling Diamonds was not very environmentally friendly. So I don't know if that's why they got rid of it or that why they discontinued it. Maybe I'm hoping that they're looking for another alternate. But that's a good reason, possible reason why the Dazzling Diamonds is no longer. Hey Anne, nice seeing you. Okay, and I'm also going to do the Wink of Stella on the scarf. There we go. And I'm going to do Wink of Stella on these trees as well. Yeah, because I like bling on stuff, I'm going to have to invest in quite a few tubes of Wink of Stella. Okay. Alrighty, and now I'm going to add this, and it's going to get popped up like that on the bottom, but it's going to be popped up on this side and then liquid glue on this side because it's going to straddle on top of here. And like I mentioned, if for those, I think Anne is just tuned in, she might not have heard me, that this is a swap card that I did for a swap that just closed on Friday or Thursday. And so I'll post this up on YouTube once everyone's received their cards, and then I'll make a post on YouTube. And so I've tucked it underneath the snowman on top of the real red, and that's going to get adhered because that's flush, and then it's going to get popped up with dimensionals on the other side. So you can see the dimension on him. Oh, I forgot one other thing of Wink of Stella. I meant to do Wink of Stella at the bottom here as well. And see, you'll see the Wink of Stella kind of blending in the ink because this is not like Memento, right? So there we go. You'll see how it kind of, I'm not sure, not melted is not the word, but blended in. Because I didn't stamp him in Black Memento, I stamped him in Early Espresso. And then the last thing is the Merry Christmas, and I'm going to put him here. I keep calling him a him. Is he a him? Is it a him? Now, the new mini catalog goes live in 2 days. Also at the same time, Stampin' Up! Is changing. They're upgrading, North America's the last, the online shopping experience for customers. So things, I'm going to have to send out an email because I'm not quite sure exactly what the new name is going to be. I think it's stampinup.ca, I think it is. And if you've shopped online, your login, your username will stay the same, but you may be forced, I think you will be forced to change your password. and it's supposed to be an easier shopping experience. And then I'm going to take one last rhinestone and I'm putting it over the I in Christmas. So there you go. That's today's card. And it sits like that. Isn't that pretty? I love this stamp set. I know Emily guessed it. Emily knew that this was my my favorite stamp set in the catalog. And so that's the card. And I'll show you, bring it up closer so you can see the detail on the trees. And the wink of Stella. Isn't that pretty? What do you think? Is that a thumbs up, thumbs down? You like? Oh, I'm getting thumbs up. Emily likes it. Kim likes it. Anne likes it. Very nice. Very nice. So that's the card, and that's using the new stamp set, Snow Wonder, with the Snow Time dies. So this is the stamp set. Oh, Faith, you're in here too, or Miss Molly, I should say. Deborah, yay! So this is the stamp set, Snow Wonder, and we used him, and we used Happy Christmas. And the dies, just for a recap, is the Snowman die here. Bev gives a thumbs up. Deb says thumbs up. And we used die cut the tree out. We didn't stamp it. We just die cut it out. And then we used this banner die. And these are all part of the bundle. And it was Early Espresso. The Evergreen Forest die, which gave us this embossing here. It's not Evergreen Forest die, the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. And Early Espresso, Whisper White Thick for the Snowman, Early Espresso for the trees, Real Red for this, and then we used Poppy Parade for his scarf and Shaded Spruce for his hat, and the red rhinestones. There we go. So that's it. So thanks for stopping by today. I hope you were inspired, and have a great day and what's left of it. The sun is shining. I think Noah finally stopped building the ark, and that was a lot of rain this morning. That was a lot. Perfect day to stay inside and stamp. So have a good one, and we will talk to you all again soon, and I am excited for the new catalog. Yay! You're welcome, Emily. Thanks for stopping by. And again, this will be posted up on on YouTube, probably Thursday or Friday. Okay, take care and have a good one. Now I don't want my company. I want to stamp. Yeah, I know. Oh, you're welcome, ladies. I know what you mean, Deb. When I woke up this morning and I saw that it was raining, I did all my laundry. I cleaned the house, and I just thought I wanted to stamp, and I didn't want to have any excuses not to stamp. So I was ready for you guys. All right, take care and have a good one. Oh, this is the swap card. That is the swap card. Oh, Susan wanted to see the swap card. That's it. Oh, this was the original card where I used the plaid, but I didn't have any more of the plaid left, so I changed it up. But it's the same card. Same card, just different papers. It's very bright too. I'm not sure what light is very bright, but it's hard to see. So that was the card we made now, and then this was the swap card. The same, except for this one doesn't have the detail on it like the Wink of Stella. All right, take care.